In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make an item cooldown system, so when a player uses an item, after a certain amount of time, here I have it set to 10 seconds, I will grant another item in my inventory, and it'll refresh. Just like that. Let's get into it. Okay, so first, what you're going to want to do is make sure you have a class set up. I just made a very quick one, just made it so it sets me to class 1. And then in the class selector, I had it class to switch to, also as class 1. So once you have your class, you're going to need 4 devices. You'll need the conditional button, player marker, item granter, and a timer device. And you're also going to need the items that you want to be granted from the cooldown. So I just picked an impulse. We'll put one in the actual class designer, so that when I switch to the class, it'll give me this impulse grenade. You're then also going to need an impulse in the conditional button, and then I'm actually going to need more, so I need to put one in the item granter also. So we'll put one. Okay, well, it went in the player marker, but we need it in there also. We need an impulse grenade on each device. There we go. So, now, from this setup, we'll go ahead and go into the conditional button, and you're going to change these settings. There's not very many. We just need it to be allowed class to class 1. So that's it. We just need class 1 to only be able to interact with this conditional button, because that is the class that we have. If you have any other classes, and it's class 3, class 4, whatever class you have is that, it'll go there. For the player marker, we're going to do show marker set to no. Visible for class, we want as class 1. And then we're going to scroll all the way down to first item trigger condition. We're going to go equal or fewer, and we're going to set it to 0. On the item granter, all we need to change here is the on grant action to keep all, so that it doesn't clear the inventory when they get their impulse grenade. And equipped granted item to yes, so it'll go into their inventory. Last, for the timer, this one has the most settings. I'm going to set it for 10 seconds. You can set it to however long you want the cooldown to be. Can interact, set to no. Applies to, go to player. Completion behavior, we want it on reset. Visible during game, hidden. And we want it show on HUD to no. Now everything should be set up and ready to go. So we'll go into button, grab a button. This will switch us to the class. You don't really have to switch any of this. I'll just name it switch class. We'll go here on interact. We're gonna click our class selector and change player to class. Now go back to the conditional button. We're gonna change in functions to activate when receiving from. We're gonna put this on the player marker for on the first value, on first item value reached. So what that'll do is when the player marker reads that the player has fewer or equal than 1 or than 0 impulse grenades, it'll trigger this conditional button. In the player marker, you're going to go to attach to player when receiving from, and we want the class selector on class switched. So what this will do is when the player is into this class, when they enter the class, it'll attach this player marker to them, allowing them to be tracked for their item. Okay. Next, for the item granter, you're just going to do grant item when receiving from the timer device on success. So when the timer ends, it'll grant you the impulse grenade. And last, for the timer, you're going to start when the conditional button is set to not enough items. And on success, the item granter should grant the item. It should already be there. So what this does is when the player changes to this class, it places the marker on them. This tracks when the player has 0 or less impulse grenades in their inventory and activates the conditional button. The conditional button will trigger the not enough items event because they have no more impulse grenades in their inventory, starting the 10-second timer. When the 10 seconds is up, it'll grant them the item. So when they run out of items, it'll start the timer and give them another one when the timer ends. So we can go ahead and start the game now. We're going to switch to class 1, and I was given an impulse grenade because the class gave me one. And even if we wait here 10 seconds, we'll wait a little bit, it won't give me another impulse grenade because I have one. I have more than 0. So if I use it, in about 10 seconds here, I'll get another one. So we'll wait. And I got another impulse. Now you can change any of the values in here. If you want it to grant more impulse grenades when they run out, just change the item grant amount to however many. And you can use this with any item. You can do any of the items here. You can have it shield kegs, you can do potions, you can have med kits, any healing items. So when they run out of healing items, it'll grant them more. You can do the nitro splashes, boogie bombs, any item that they can use can go into here. Just use the same setup and replace them from the impulse grenades and it should work fine. So that is it. It's a pretty quick and easy tutorial to make an item cooldown system. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, subscribe, hit the like button, comment down below what other tutorials you'd like to see and if you enjoyed this one. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.